There is nothing official from the FBI yet, but early reports indicate 2 of the 3 are not U.S. citizens and will be charged with conspiracy and obstructing justice. The 3rd person is being described as a U.S. citizen and facing charges of making false statements. There are also reports of the 3 could face federal charges of aiding and harboring the bombing. Suspects will, of course, continue to follow the story and let you know of any new developments.
2 people were injured in 2 separate accidents this morning. In one incident, a PennDOT flagger was hit by a pickup truck, and in the other, a child crossing the street was hit by a car. That child is now in critical condition. Good afternoon. I'm Stacy Smith.
And I'm Kimberly Gill. We want to start in Pittsburgh's Hayes neighborhood, where accident reconstruction teams are trying to figure out how a 9-year-old child was hit by a car. Sarah Arbogast is live with the latest details there. Sarah?
Kimberly, we're just learning some new information. That child was, in fact, 9 years old. He is now at Children's Hospital recovering. I just talked to the boy's father just a few minutes ago. He says his son has been updated to stable condition. He's going to be just fine. He has some minor head injuries and also a badly broken leg. What happened this morning, though, wasn't only terrifying for the 9-year-old boy involved, but also 2 other young boys who witnessed the accident. A hectic scene in Lincoln Place at the intersection of Mifflin Road and Hilborn Street. Just after 8:30 this morning, a young boy was struck by an SUV. 2 of the boy's friends witnessed the accident.
He just heard the squealing of the brakes and Jonathan getting hit and his friend laying on the ground. That's what he seen.
I saw him laying for a second, but then me and him went to go get my mom. Then I called 911.
Friends say the boy is 10 years old, a 3rd grader at Mifflin K-8. They say he was crossing the street to catch the school bus. They didn't wait for a red light.
Because I crossed the street and I probably influenced him to cross the street at the same time.
Police spent hours at the scene reconstructing the crash and talking to witnesses. In the meantime, parents in the area say something has to be done at this intersection.
And we were trying to get a guard down here all this time because these people do not stop for this bus. They fly up and down the street. They don't care. Maybe now, since a little kid going to school got hit, we'll get a crossing guard for these kids, because we definitely need something now.
The driver of the SUV stopped immediately after the accident. Police have not said whether any charges will be filed. Again, that 9-year-old's condition has been updated to stable. Reporting live at Children's Hospital, Sarah Arbogast, KDKA TV News.
Okay, Sarah, thank you. The latest now on an accident in Washington County where a PennDOT worker was hit by a pickup truck. The worker was flagging traffic in Monongahela when it happened. Heather Abraham has more on his condition and how the accident happened.
This really shows you just how dangerous this kind of work can be. Minutes after starting this morning, a PennDOT worker hit by a driver who didn't see him, didn't have time to stop. The sun was just coming up, glaring down on 4th Street when PennDOT worker Ernest Crawford was tossed to the ground.
I put my flagger on the road. He was standing there, and a lady pulled out of the corner of the street over here, 1st Street, and was only going a few miles an hour and knocked him to the side of the road.
Highway foreman Scott Cowley says Crawford has been with PennDOT for about 5 years. They had literally just started the workday, repaving the roadway minutes before when he was hit. Police say one of the crew members is also a medic and was able to help his coworker until the ambulance got on scene.
He's hurt pretty good.
Coincidentally, National Work Zone Awareness Week was just last month, but police say this appears to be a pure accident. The driver, Valerie Vastrat, stayed on scene and police say will not be charged. Police believe the sun may have blinded Vastrat as she was making the turn from 1st Avenue onto 4th Street.
She's real shook up. We try to comfort her as well as him.
I'm told the worker was flown to Allegheny General Hospital where he continues to recover. Reporting in Monongahela, Washington County, Heather Abraham, KDKA TV News.
New at noon, a man who allegedly shot a deer in a Walmart parking lot will go on trial. 40-year-old Arcangelo Bianco Jr. is charged with reckless endangerment and hunting law violations. Police say that he shot a 10-point buck in the parking lot of the Walmart shopping center on Route 22 in Burrell Township.
A driver will likely face charges after crashing into a gas station convenience store. It happened late last night at the A+ store at the Sunoco gas station on North Craig Street in Oakland. Police say the driver was revving the engine of his 1997 Mercury. When he put the car in drive, he lost control and slammed into the store. A woman was hurt in the crash. The driver was not hurt. The gas station remains closed as workers fix the broken windows and other damage. In Carrick, a car crashed into a house. It happened along Linview Avenue. A Ford Mustang hit the side of the house, leaving a hole in the brick foundation. Nobody was in the home, and neighbors say the driver walked away from the scene. And a man was killed in Shenley Park after he crashed his motorcycle. 52-year-old Stephen Carter of Ambridge, Beaver County, apparently missed a turn coming from Boulevard of the Allies into the park. He crashed into a tree near Panther Hollow Road. Police say it appears he was speeding.
Police raided the home of a Beaver County man, and they say they found dozens of files containing images and videos of minors having sex. 54-year-old Raul Arias of Freedom is now in jail. Ross Gadati has the latest on the charges that he now faces.
What State Attorney General investigators say Raul Arias had on his computer inside his Freedom Beaver County home was hardcore pornography, not of adults, but that of children, boys and girls as young as 5 years old, engaged in sex acts with each other as well as adults. Investigators first approached the 54-year-old after tracking alleged child porn on the internet to his home. Right now, Arias faces 5 counts of possession of child pornography, 3 counts of distribution of child pornography, and 1 count of illegal use of communications facilities. None of Mr. Arias' neighbors wanted to talk to us. They said he pretty much kept to himself, and they really didn't want to discuss the subject matter, understandably. But they did tell us last week up to 13 police cars and several people in Attorney General's jackets descended and then went in to Mr. Arias' house. The criminal complaint says that Raul Arias told investigators he had entered PTHD, understanding that it meant preteen hardcore. He said he was looking for, quote, teens engaged in acts or nude, close quote, and that he had been watching child porn since the 1990s and admitted what he was viewing was illegal. Raul Arias was arrested, but he's out on $50,000 straight cash bond. In Freedom, Beaver County, Ross Gadati, KDKA TV News.
A couple accused of assaulting their 3-month-old child is in jail. The Allegheny County Sheriff's Department arrested 29-year-old Kelly Broderick and 27-year-old Eric Hebert. Both are from Bridgeville and were wanted for failing to appear in court last week. Police say in January of last year, the couple's 3-month-old child had fractures to both legs and several ribs. The two are also accused of assaulting a 7-year-old child at a homeless shelter in Crafton because the child would not change the TV channel.
Police worked to find 2 robbery suspects overnight. They say a man was robbed outside the McDonald's on Lebanon Church Road in West Mifflin. They put out a description for the suspects in their truck. About a half an hour later, they were found near South Hills Village.
What do you like today?
Love today.
Yeah,
very
great
nice.
day.
Very nice day. Let's check in right now with Dennis Bowman to see how long this is going to last. Perfect clear skies out there. Nice bright sunshine, Dennis.
Oh, yeah. We've been clamoring for a nice run of fair weather. And boy, it's rocking and rolling now. Take a look at the current situation here at lunchtime. We're at 67 degrees right now. And we're in full sun all across western Pennsylvania, just about the entire state. And right into Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland. Clear skies abounding. A gentle east wind is out there. We should have no problem nudging 76 this afternoon, right around 4 or 4:30, and back into the upper 60s at 8 o'clock tonight. If you're out and about on the town taking in the Penn's activities or whatever, no weather problems for you. A clear 57-degree temperature at 11 o'clock tonight. And this is going to sail right on into the weekend. We'll have the full forecast for you coming up in just a bit.
The Pittsburgh Marathon is in just 3 days, and as the runners are preparing, so are the medical teams. More on their preparations for Sunday is coming up.
I was running. I was just running as fast as I can, and I never look back.
The man carjacked by the 2 Boston bombing suspects tells his story of kidnapping and a daring escape. You will hear more from him coming up.
Before the weather heats up, make sure your home is ready to cool down safely. Get an AC startup check for just $19.95.
It's a shell game. Governor Corbett cuts $1 billion from education while bankrolling big tax cuts for his corporate backers. And now, after thousands of teacher layoffs, Corbett continues to shortchange our schools while paying for, you guessed it, another round of giveaways for his campaign donors, all while taking lavish gifts from lobbyists and CEOs. So when Corbett says he's looking out for Pennsylvanians, you'll know he's just playing another game.
Lightning can cause damaging power surges. Protect your valuable electronics with the surge protector for only $199.
My nerd cave.
A secret passage.
Closet space.
A gourmet kitchen.
Jogging path.
Vaulted ceilings.
A yard.
At RE/MAX, there are nearly 90,000 agents to find the perfect fit for all the things that move you.
What moves you?
Concern for victims gives everyone at our law firm, Robert Pearson Associates, a sense of urgency when we work on a case involving nursing home abuse.
Our attorneys and support staff always pursue nursing home abuse claims with sensitivity and caring.
We bring the concern we feel for the victims of nursing home abuse and their families to everything we do for them.
I'm Bob Pierce.
And I'm Rob Pierce.
Lean on our experience in the law.
Melting snow can cause a wet basement. Protect your home with the Galease waterproofing system. Schedule your free estimate today.
CSI, tonight at 10, followed by KDKA TV News at 11.
The Pittsburgh Marathon is this Sunday. The runners have trained for months, and people who work the event are also getting ready. Local medical experts talked about how they are preparing for Sunday's race. Over 350 healthcare professionals will be on hand, and they say they have learned some things from the Boston Marathon bombings.
In the past, we've always had EMS on board, and they were always available to take care of trauma. We know from Boston that one of the things that they had hoped to have at the finish line, or would have liked to have, were tourniquets. So we have tourniquets, and we have some other additional trauma gear.
Pittsburgh Marathon is Sunday, May the 5th. For more details on the race and how to get around the detours, just log on to our website at kdk.com.
We continue to follow developing details in the Boston Marathon bombing case. As we first reported to you in this newscast, 3 additional suspects have been taken into custody. The news came in a tweet from the police department. The FBI has not released any further details, but CBS News is reporting the 3 people in custody are college students and friends of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev and are facing charges of aiding and harboring the bombing suspects. 3 people were killed and more than 260 injured on April 15th when 2 bombs exploded near the finish line. The brothers who did it later carjacked a taxi driver. He is now speaking out about his daring escape.
He asked me a question like, do you know the Boston explosion on Monday? I said, yeah, yes. And then, I did that, and I just killed a policeman in Cambridge.
The 26-year-old Chinese immigrant wants to keep his identity concealed. He says when they stopped for gas, he managed to escape and called 911. He says he feels lucky to have just gotten out alive and says the police are the real heroes.
Well, it's playoff time in Pittsburgh. The Penguins and Islanders tonight. And we are live in the courthouse at the courtyard for the big Penguins rally. We'll give you a little flavor of Penguin playoff action coming up.
That is how it looks inside the courtyard. This is how it looks outside in downtown Pittsburgh. A beautiful sunny day again. We'll have the details of the forecast coming up.
You know the Pens are #1, but how'd your favorite players get their numbers?
It's not an awesome hockey number. I wasn't allowed to play if that was my number. I actually was asking for 11. Pretty unique number. I was given 29 for like 6 games.
Hear all their stories today at 5. Bill Peduto wants to be mayor of Pittsburgh, but Peduto only seems to care about his own district. Peduto was the only council member to vote against helping Homewood seniors, but has diverted money to corporate expansion in his district. Peduto opposed funding Hill District development, and Peduto voted against living wage, hurting low-income workers citywide. We need a mayor for all of Pittsburgh, not just Bill Peduto's neighborhood.
Important healthcare notice. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, you are needed to participate in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. AccuQuest Hearing Centers is seeking 100 people with hearing difficulties to evaluate iSync, a new 100% digital invisible hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call please get a pencil and write down the phone number below. 100 people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are needed to take part in the 30-day challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device the size of a pencil eraser. Call the number below. iSync is the world's first 100% digital, completely invisible hearing aid. Hearing consultations performed at no charge for all qualified callers. Participants will try iSync hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the AccuQuest Hearing 30-day challenge.
Ever dream about having a roof over your deck or patio area? I'm Dave Dixon of Quaker State Construction. In addition to quality decks, Quaker State specializes in custom designed roofs for your deck, patio, or porch. Besides adding beauty and value to your home, a roof protects your deck and allows you to use it year-round. We can even enclose it and create a comfortable room. Need help in planning a roof for your deck or patio? Ask Dave at 1-800-262-DECK or go online at QuakerStateConstruction.com.
The KDKA Sports Report is brought to you by Allegheny Sports Medicine.
News Chopper 2 is flying over the courtyard of the Allegheny County Courthouse. That is where Penguins fans are holding a rally to show their support for the Pens as the Pens begin the playoffs tonight at the Consol Energy Center. And somewhere in that crowd, there he is right now, you can see him, is John Shumway.
That's right, John. You have an update on Sidney Crosby.
Pretty good crowd coming out at the lunch hour to get all riled up for the Penguins tonight. And, of course, the news we're now getting a good sense of. And it kind of showed at practice this morning because Sidney came out on the ice and he was skating with what would be considered the reserve line, another not with any of the regular lines. So the indications are he will not be playing in this first game, but he is having a meeting with his dentist today. And they're going to decide a little bit later exactly how soon he will be able to return to work. But as you can see, a lot of folks coming out to get into the spirit. And your name is?
Jay.
Jay, what do you think about this playoff series against an Islanders team that every time we've played them, they've eliminated us?
Penguins in 5. Take it to the bank.
Take it to the bank, really?
Yes.
Are you seeing much Penguin spirit in town yet?
It's building. Not yet, but it's building.
Yeah, well, it's building right here in the courtyard without a doubt. I mean, if you can look, pretty good crowd all the way around. Hey, here's a guy up here who's wearing a Crosby jersey. Let me get you. Turn around just a second here. No Crosby in the first game. Is that okay?
That's okay. I'm hoping he gets a lot better. He'll gets back. We're going to sweep him in 5 games. I can't wait. Yeah, Malkin, Fleury, there's no stopping him. It's going to be a terrific game today. First game, can't wait. Crowd's pumped.
Go Penguins. Well, you heard the prediction. 2 predictions, both saying Penguins in 5. I guess we can take that to the bank. Much more coming up as the day goes on. For now, live at the courtyard of the courthouse. John Shumway, KDKA TV News.
Okay, John, thank you. And don't forget, the big screen will be back up tonight. It'll be set up across the street from Consol Energy Center. Fans can start showing up at the big screen 4 hours before tonight's game and before the game. Keep it here on KDKA TV for expanded playoff coverage at multiple locations. That includes in the courtyard of the Cambria Suites, the site of the KDKA TV Mobile Sports Center. Roots sports analyst Jay Caulfield will serve as our insider throughout the playoffs. He has years of experience as a player and an analyst. He'll join Bob Pompiani on the set ahead of the game on KDKA TV Sports tonight at 6:45.
Simple, pleasant story with the weather these days around here. We've got lots of sunshine. You saw the crowd up there, the big rally for the Pens in full sun. That's the situation over here in Upper St. Clair. The kids getting out onto the playground for some afternoon recess activities out there. And things are just looking dandy with temperatures flirting with that 70-degree mark. We check out April by the numbers for you. Highest temperature for April was 60 or 85 on the 18th. The lowest was 19 on the 4th. 3.27 inches of rain, 0.16 above normal. And for snowfall, we got a trace of snow for the month, and it fell on 4 different days of light snow. Highest flood potential stays away from us. That's from Chicago all the way down to Mobile, Alabama. Here's our blocking high pressure system that is going to control our weather with lots and lots of sunshine as we go along, while they just deal with quite a mess tomorrow, even some snow out there in parts of Kansas and Nebraska. Here's your forecast. 76, mainly sunny out there today. In fact, it looks like it's just going to be wall-to-wall sun. 76 again tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. Partly sunny, 78 on Saturday. We'll be up to 76 degrees on Sunday, partly sunny skies. And then that system from the west finally begins to get in here. It looks like we'll have to allow for some showers on Monday. High temperature of 70 degrees, but it's fair sailing between here and there. And that's your forecast.
Now, Dennis's Classroom Weather, brought to you by Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania.
Yesterday we were in Penn Hills visiting those guys. Yeah, pre-K to third grade. This is a primary school, Washington Elementary School in Penn Hills. And there I am talking to the kids about how we forecast the weather, how you stay safe. This is a tornado drill, crouching down facing the wall. You saw a quick glimpse of the check they gave you, $740 for the KDKA TV Turkey Fund. Boy, the schools have really gotten behind that. They also are big on autism awareness, Down syndrome awareness, and they also have done a boot campaign where they fill boots full of all kinds of things for our soldiers overseas. Kids are doing great there, and we thank them for the hospitality yesterday in Penn Hills. Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to see all those smiling faces out there, Dennis.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In more news, the FDA announced the morning after pill will now be available over the counter, off the shelf, and for women 15 or older. The Plan B contraception pill was previously only available to those 17 and older, and it was kept behind pharmacy counters. The move comes in the middle of a legal and political fight over morning after pills. 2 years ago, the Food and Drug Administration wanted to make it available to all women, regardless of age. Still ahead, he loves animals and hopes a forever family will make trips to the zoo a regular part of his life. Coming up, we'll introduce you to this waiting child.
On Wall Street, everything's pointing down, including the Dow Jones Industrial Average more than 60. We'll have the final closing numbers in our 4 o'clock newscast.
The time to make a